So these are 3 people watching me do my speech. These are my cards, and they're only front side. All right. And don't turn it off at any point.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Losing a family member to something we can't see is hard, but having other family members also be haunted or suffer from the same disease is even harder. Diabetes is something that runs in my family, and I've lost my grandmother to diabetes, and so it's something really close to my heart. And because it's so genetically influenced, I have a possibility of getting it. And as we all know, working in the healthcare, we know that health is so important, so we need to take care of ourselves. Today we'll be talking about the history of diabetes, the current prognosis of diabetes, and the future of diabetes. First, let's go into the history. According to the Diabetes Association website that I last visited on December 19th in 2018, and the history, Mering and Oscar Minowski, as you can see on the screen, they discovered that the pancreas is what, if it's removed from dogs, it causes the symptoms of diabetes, and those dogs shortly died afterwards after they had their pancreas removed. So they were really the ones who started the road to discovering what diabetes was. Next, Mr. Elliot Jocelyn. He was the one who first started the treatment for diabetes. In 1916, he published a paper on how to treat diabetes, and he helped save patients by 20%. His treatment and the treatment back then that was really popular was eating right, diet, and closely controlling testing your blood to make sure that your sugar wasn't too high and things like that. Fun facts about diabetes: about 30 million people in the United States have it. About 7 million people of that do not have the actual diagnosis. They haven't been diagnosed yet. And so that's a lot of people that don't know. Also, there's a lot of money in diabetes as well. As you can see on the screen, 3.9 billion amount of money is spent by people with diabetes to get their medications and insulin. And also, diabetes can be genetically influenced, and it can be influenced by lifestyle. So some lifestyle changes probably need to happen. All right, so now we've had the history, we can go into the current prognosis of diabetes. Diabetes can be diagnosed by an ACE1C test, which is about 2 to 3 months. In the past, it's an average of your blood glucose, and if it's over 6.5, then you have diabetes. You can also test it by blood testing, like randomly, or you can do fasting blood tests as well. And there's also medications that can help with diabetes, insulin, metformin, and other medications. Also, these days we have handheld blood testing monitors, so you can test it at home regularly to manage your intake. Also, healthy living can help. Changing your lifestyle, being healthier, eating good, exercising can also help treat diabetes. So now, they're about the Cleveland Clinic Center. They're the ones who talked about the stats of diabetes, and being the 6.5 being the current rate for having diabetes or not. And so now that we've talked about the current prognosis of diabetes, we can talk about the future of diabetes. According to the Mayo Clinic website I last accessed on December 19, 2018, we can, sorry, I think I went too far. The future of diabetes is by artificial pancreases. We can replace our pancreas and then get an artificial one and treat diabetes. We can also change the microbiomes of people. We can also do cell therapy, and also changing the drug delivery for medications by trying to be more needle-free. And now that we've talked about the future of diabetes, we've talked about the current prognosis, and we've talked about the history of diabetes, I would like to call y'all to action and try to help y'all be more healthy and get your blood tested regularly. And now that y'all know more about diabetes, I hope that helps. So now a 10-second break, and then I introduce someone. All right, TJC graduates, I would like to introduce y'all to a hero of mine. She hasn't inspired just me, but she's inspired a whole generation and more generations to come, J.K. Rowling. She was born July 31st, 1965, she was a single mother and she was homeless for a little bit, and she wrote Harry Potter on some tissues in a coffee shop, and she started a whole empire. She's worth $1 billion. She's written all the Harry Potter books. She's helped with all the Harry Potter movies. She also has her own charity called Lumos, which helps children get out of institutes. So if a child has been institutionalized, she helps them get into foster care and get out of that situation. So she's going to give us a speech to help motivate y'all in y'all's future, and I would like to introduce and have the honor of introducing Miss J.K. Rowling.
All right.
Thank you. And so these are the people that watched my speech.
Great job.
Thank you.